Welcome to Mishna study, Masechet Terumot, Perek Vav, Mishnah Vav. Over here now, Mishnah, we're going to discuss continuing paying back for the Teruma. Right, so a person ate Teruma by mistake. Now he needs to go ahead and pay back. Let's say he went ahead and he ate figs. Is he allowed to repay back what he needs to pay back? Is he allowed to pay back in dates? Right, or do we have to pay back in exactly the item that he ate by mistake? And that's going to be the machloket of our Mishnah. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Meshalemim mimin al she'eno mino. You're allowed to go pay back on, for one item, one species, and cover the other. So if you ate figs and you want to pay back in dates, you go ahead and do so. You have to pay back the better of the fruit, right? Even if you're paying back the same value, you ate $100 worth, you have to repay back $100 worth. But you have to make sure that what you're paying back is a better fruit, right? So if you went ahead and you had, some fruit from some Teruma fruit that person bought from Wegmans, you could pay back with Uri's fruit. Right, but you can't go ahead and vice versa. Rabbi Akiva Omer, en mishalemin ela mimin al mino. You're only allowed to go pay back if it's the same species. Right, you can't go ahead if you ate figs by mistake. You can't go back and pay from dates. Lefichach im achal kishuim. Right, let's say you ate squash. Shel erev shvi'it of pre-shemitah, 6th year. Right, 6-year squash. Now you need to go back and pay back with squash. The problem is now came the shemitah year and you can't pay it back. Why can't you pay it back? Well, I would say simply based off the way Hanabam explained last Mishnah, it's hefker, right? And that's what Hanabam even says over here, right? It's hefker. You're not allowed to pay back from hefker, like we mentioned in last Mishnah. And therefore, he can't go ahead and pay back from Shemitah fruit. So now what does he do? You have to wait now to the 8th year, right? The 1st year of the next cycle for the squash to grow then. And then you could pay back for the teruma that you ate in the 6th year. Now, from the same place, meaning the same pasuk, as we'll see in a moment, where Rabbi Eliezer is mekel, where he learns to be mekel, Rabbi Akiva learns from that same pasuk to be mahmir. Shneimar, v'natan lakohen et hakodesh, kol shehu ra'ui la'asot kodesh. Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer is mekel. Anything that can be kodesh, right? It can be min al she'eno mino. Doesn't have to be the same exact species. You can go ahead and pay back. And Rabbi Akiva Omer, v'natan lakohen et hakodesh, hakodesh she'achal. You need to go back and pay back to the kohen the kodesh, the exact kodesh that you ate, right? So it's interesting because they're learning from the same word in the same pasuk, right? They're just being doreshet in the opposite, in the opposite direction. It's just important to mention that that's all. I mean, we explained it based off the way Hanabam explains over here in the Perush Mishnah. But if we remember how he's posek halacha. So he's posek halacha, if you remember, that you're allowed to pay back from the hefker. So if you're allowed to pay back from the hefker, right, if that's his posek in the Mishneh Torah we mentioned, right, Hachamim allow matirim ba'elu, then how would Hachamim explain this Mishnah? Right, you want to explain it according to Hachamim. You don't want to explain it only according to one opinion of, Rabbi Meir in last Mishnah. Then it would be stam and machloket v'harach stam. You should be posek like Rabbi Meir. Right, it wouldn't really drive. So how should Hanabam explain why can't we pay back with shemitah fruits? What's the problem for Rabbi Akiva? And if you actually look at the Mishneh Torah, he actually addresses this. And if you look there, he mentions if someone ate kishuin of erev shvi'it, he has to wait for the kishuin, the squash of the motzei shvi'it, the 8th year. V'yishalem mehem, why? She'eno yachol leshalem chovo mipenot shvi'it, kemo she'itba'er mimkomo. In general, you're not allowed to pay back loans from shvi'it fruits. Nothing to do with it being hefker. Right? And this way, the way Hanabam explains it over there in the Mishneh Torah is consistent with the way he's posek halacha in Mishneh Torah, according to Hachamim, how Hachamim would also be oser to pay back with shemitah fruits, according to Rabbi Akiva. Right? And halacha is like Rabbi Akiva.